Okay, so let's get right into this. Our story starts on a dusty road in ancient India, and it's a chance encounter that kicks off one of the most interesting questions and answers you've ever heard.
So picture this. A respected scholar, a Brahmin named Dana, is just walking along when he sees someone radiating such an incredible sense of peace that he just has to stop. He walks up and asks what seems like a totally normal question.
And the answer he gets back is, well, it's anything but normal. It just completely throws Dana for a loop. I mean, if this person standing right in front of him isn't a human, then what on earth is he?
So Dona's mind is racing, right? He's trying to fit this being into any category he knows. He asks, okay, are you a god, a deva? The being says no. All right, what about a gandharva, like a celestial spirit? Nope, not that either. A yakkha, maybe, a powerful demon? Still no. So Dona, kind of frustrated now, goes right back to where he started. Then you have to be a human being. And for the fourth time, the answer is a clear and simple no.
To really get this mysterious answer, we first have to zoom out and look at the world this being, that Tathagata, actually appeared in. What was going on that made his arrival so necessary?
The way the source material describes it is pretty bleak. It paints this picture of a world that's just lost in confusion. People are living in a state of delusion, totally unable to tell what's real from what's not, kind of like someone who's convinced that night is day. And this is where you see the huge difference. While almost everyone else was stumbling around in this metaphorical darkness, the Tathagata saw things with perfect clarity. He saw night as night. He saw day as day. He wasn't fooled by any of it.
But here's the thing. He didn't achieve this clarity just for himself. His entire reason for being there was compassion. He was there to be a guide for everybody, from gods all the way down to people, to help them find their own way out of that same darkness.
So that begs the question, right? What exactly was this darkness? What was the fundamental problem, the thing that was so universal that it needed a being like the Tathagata to show up and address it?
And the texts are incredibly specific about this. They basically say that his whole purpose, his entire reason for showing up, was a direct response to three things. Three unavoidable, inescapable facts of life that every single one of us has to deal with.
And here they are, the big three. Birth, how it all begins. Aging, the slow, steady process of change and decay. And death, the one thing that's absolutely certain for everyone. These three universal experiences, that's the problem he came to solve. But, and this is so important, he didn't just point out this massive problem and say, good luck, everybody. No, he offered a clear, practical solution, a path that anyone, and I mean anyone, could follow. What he offered was a teaching, something called the Dhamma. And I love how it's described, beautiful in the beginning, the middle, and the end. It means the whole thing is complete. It's coherent. It feels right from the very first step, makes sense all the way through, and the destination is exactly what was promised.
So what is that destination? What are you actually working towards? Well, it's not just some abstract idea. It's about real, tangible results, a deep, lasting tranquility, an end to that constant struggle and suffering, gaining complete knowledge, and getting to this unshakable state of being where the chaos of the world just can't get to you anymore.
And wow, this quote just nails the sheer scale of what's being offered. This isn't just about having a slightly better life. This is about opening a doorway to something beyond the whole cycle of life and death, a state they call the deathless. And it's an open invitation to anyone who's willing to actually listen. Okay, so now that we have all that context, we understand the problem and the solution he offered, we can finally go back to our friend Dona the Brahmin and make sense of that totally baffling answer he got. Why did he say no to every single label? The way he explains it himself is just, well, it's beautiful. He uses this powerful, elegant analogy right from the world of nature. He says, think about a lotus flower. It starts its life down in the mud at the bottom of a pond. It grows up through the murky water, but when it finally blossoms, it rests on the surface, totally clean, completely unstained by the water it grew up.
So what's he saying? He's saying, look, I was born in this world. I grew up in it just like everyone else. But through his own efforts, he rose above it. He overcame all the stuff that defines life for the rest of us. So he's unstained by the world. It means all those categories Dona was using, human, God, spirit, they just don't apply anymore. He's transcended them. So those old labels, those old boxes, they just don't fit. He tells Dana, if you're gonna remember me by this new word, a whole new category of being.
And that word is Buddha. It's not a name, it's a title. And it just means the one who is awake. And that's the ultimate answer, isn't it? He isn't defined by where he came from or what he was born as. He's defined by what he became. Not a god, not a human. He is the awakened one.
And that just leaves us with this final, massive thought to chew on. If he's the one who woke up from the dream that most of us are still living in, that dream where we mistake night for day, what does it really mean for the rest of us to wake up?